glimpses of focus. A big job to do. For City, 3 changes from Saturday's Premier League win at Burnley. John Stones, Riyad Mahrez and Bernardo Silva all come back in. Phil Foden and Jack Grealish are out to the bench. Kyle Walker is completing a 3-match European ban. He will be available for next week's second leg. Rodri plays against his former club for the first time since leaving them in 2019. And Kevin De Bruyne brings up 50 Champions League games in a Manchester City shirt. Referee, his 2 assistants are from Romania. Istvan Kovac is the man in the middle. For Atleti, Felipe replaces Jose Jimenez at the back. The Uruguayan was injured facing Alaves at the weekend, and Captain Koke returns from domestic suspension to take his usual place in midfield. Thomas Lemar drops to substitute. The front 2, Antoine Griezmann, and the bang-in form, João Felix, with Luis Suarez, Angel Correa, and Mateus Cunha all waiting in the wings. Kevin De Bruyne has scored in his last 2 City games. He's got 4 goals in his last 4 appearances, 12 goals for the season, all told. That's one more than João Felix has got. He has managed 7 in his... last 8 appearances. Simeone ever does relaxed in the conventional sense. Manchester City players, as is customary with English Premier League teams, take a knee before kick-off to send out a continuous and strong message against all forms of racial discrimination. Now, the side in blue will get this Champions League quarter-final started. Bernardo Silva has the first kick of the ball. Straight away we can see that João Cancelo is a right back for Manchester City. Nathan Ake will play at left back in a usual 4-man defensive lineup. Rodri then is the shield, playing just behind Gundogan and De Bruyne, with Bernardo Silva tucking in too. But as always with City, Stuart, very fluid. They will not stay in the same positions for long.
Absolutely not. The only player that does stay in his right-hand side, he gives them a lot of width. They'll keep hitting diagonal passes out to him. They'll try and stretch Atletico Madrid so there's more spaces to play through the middle. This is going to be a very interesting tactical battle here.
Don't expect Atleti to be particularly adventurous in the early stages, but as Pep Guardiola has said, and as regular Atletico Madrid watchers know, not always as defensive as the popular opinion would have you believe. When they win the ball, they will come for you.
Well, they've got 2 exceptional players up front, which Guardiola would know about, be it Griezmann and João Felix. Llorente is another player that loves to break forward from midfield. Expect the 2 wing-backs to get forward as much as possible when they get good possession.
Man in black, always. He expects as much energy on the touchline as some players do through the course of the 90 minutes out in the middle. Nathan Ake, who was excellent in the centre of defence at Turf Moor against Burnley at the weekend. Routine win for Manchester City, although perhaps they could have scored a few more goals, rather took their foot off the pedal as the game went on. Maybe with this game in mind.
It's quite clearly a back 5 at the moment for Atleti.
Sterling trying to get around the side of that back 5, unable to take the ball down as it came his way from Aymeric Laporte.
You could movement from Sterling, came short and then spun in behind Basalco. Good pass as well from Laporte. Not the touch he was looking for, Raheem Sterling.
Basalco. Llorente plays it against Sterling for an Atleti throw. The right wing back or in today's position a little higher up the field. You know what you're getting from Marcos Llorente, although I know Simeone has been vocal often in saying when he's not in that midfield role they do miss something. João Felix helping it on, and Ake has to stretch everything to get to the ball first, and the decision's gone City's way.
There's the play you were just talking about, Llorente. Really good pace, he was struggling here. Eventually got the slide challenge in. He's got a free kick against Llorente. I'm not sure there's that much wrong with the challenge.
It's judged it to be a barge in the back where it didn't seem more or less shoulder to shoulder. Referees do their homework too. Be aware of Atleti's reputation of slowing the game down and the darker arts, although, let's be honest, no team at the top level is anything other than particularly well trained in going down that route if necessary. The City need to break it up. They have the wily old campaigner Fernandinho on the bench. He knows how.
Just looking at Atleti, it does look as though Koke is going to play as the middle of that central midfield three. Dobbia slightly to his left, Llorente to his right.
Oblak didn't hang about in getting that out to Kondogbia. Stones, Rodri back to Laporte. City have started ostensibly with Bernardo Silva in that middle forward role, although I expect De Bruyne to get in there occasionally and expect the two wide players, Sterling in particular, to try and get in when they can. Mahrez not so much maybe. Talking of Riyad Mahrez, Stuart, what form he's been on, not just in the Champions League, but in all competitions this season. 22 goals is one heck of a return.
He's got a few penalties, but he's out. His normal play has been excellent when he's gone as a sub, when he's started games. He's also got a few assists to his name as well. Again, he plays very high and wide on the right-hand side. There's a lot of diagonals to him, but whenever he cuts back onto that left foot, he looks a real threat.
There was that old idea that he only had that trick, and once fullbacks had worked him out, that was it. Not so. You know what he's going to do. Stopping it is something else.
And the good thing about him as well, he's not trying to sweep it onto his right foot and get shots away and get crosses into the box. His right foot's not quite as good. Still decent.
Sterling exchanges passes quickly with Gundogan. It's a measure of how important Ilkay Gundogan is to the general feel of the City 11 that starts games, that he's been selected for this one. I think too often he's a vital player who's not getting the recognition he maybe deserves.
Kondogbia with the foul here on Cancelo.
For one from the Portuguese. Why? Just a brush. Good enough. On his more favoured side tonight to start with. Well, it's hard to tell with João Cancelo. Mahrez or De Bruyne? It's Kevin De Bruyne. Got enough on it.
Didn't quite have the depth on it from De Bruyne. João Felix in that near post space.
To Gundogan. He's given it away. 4 around him. Laporte stopped him in the end. Didn't really have any red and white shirts around him to help.
Cancelo wanted to counter-attack quickly there, but there was nobody in the centre-forward position. He had a little look up, there was 3 centre-halves for Atletico, staring straight at him. Didn't really have a pass.
Bernardo Silva. Here's João Cancelo lining up the shot. Gundogan hung a leg at it and missed it. De Bruyne comes in to charge down the attempting clearance as City trying to step up the tempo a bit.
He could be the outball for Man City all the time. João Cancelo. Renan Lodi's got a lot deeper as the left wing back, so he can keep stepping out, attacking Atleti. Cancelo.
Okay. It's Ake beating Llorente. Close enough to Riyad Mahrez. It was an easy hanger for Jan Oblak.
You were talking about Atleti finding that bit of form. I think you can say the same about the goalkeeper, Oblak. A terrible start to the season. He was brilliant last year. Just finding his form once again, getting his confidence back.
It's an argument to say he was, if not the, certainly right up amongst the world's best a year or two ago. Ake. Laporte. Stones. Mahrez. Playing it into De Bruyne. Can't reach that one.
Just a fraction too much on it, but that's what Mahrez can do as well. He's got great vision, good awareness of other players, and De Bruyne loves to make that run through the inside right area. They saw it, but wasn't going to get there.
Savage up and away. Played for Manchester City in his younger days. He's had one season, 2011-12. 11 appearances in the Premier League, scored 1 goal and ended up a title winner. It was that famous season that ended with one Sergio Aguero kick. 93 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock against Queen's Park Rangers.
That's Mancini in charge of Man City then.
Mancini, who's had a great few weeks. In from João Cancelo. Gundogan couldn't adjust sufficiently. Here's Sterling. Bernardo Silva. Cleared by Reinildo. There's De Bruyne. There in the way of it was Shima Vishalko.
Just when he got his touch there, Kevin De Bruyne. I think he's going to bend it into that far corner. That's what he was trying to do. He actually tried to go into the near post. Salco got something on it.
One of those, an inch the other way off the leg, and it could have gone in a totally different direction. There's the cue. Laporte at the back. It is Laporte, and it's wide of the mark.
Atleti, at the start of the season, had a lot of problems with set plays against. Their man marking. 2 or 3 of the players aren't watching the ball. It's a free header for Laporte. Hit on target, really.
Watching the ball at corners was one of the themes from last weekend's English Premier League round of games. Watford conceded at Liverpool with a rugby tackle. Ball was an irrelevance. There's a general consensus throughout the game that people would like to see corners. It's going to be the trend. Sterling, pass one, pass two. Checks back. Nothing for him. Nothing for Bernardo Silva either, other than a corner.
Well, Bernardo Silva is claiming a penalty. Good play from Sterling there. There's the arm across him from Masalco. He stays on his feet there. And he went down. I don't think Koke did too much wrong. This is in the box. Koke again tries to wrap his... He probably just about got the ball. It's a dangerous challenge to make. I think the referee's got that right.
A bit of a risk, but corner it stays, and always look likely to after VAR review. In from Mahrez. Laporte nearly got there. Felipe beat him to it. Manchester City stepping it up. The heat is on. Gundogan. Stones. Timing not quite right.
It's well worked because Stones was up against Renan Lodge, who's not particularly good in the air. Here's the moment again. Koke wasn't going to make a challenge, then just tried to wrap his foot round Bernardo Silva, and he got a slight touch on the ball, didn't he? Sterling went down, not from the second challenge by Koke, but by the first one from Masalco.
Dombia. Back with Savage. City won by João Cancelo. Ake. Gundogan took it nicely on the half turn. Sterling. Laporte. Bernardo Silva's trying to get it through Llorente. Griezmann. This is out to Emerick Laporte. First time we've seen Antoine Griezmann, really.
I'd say there's been a few occasions this season where 20 minutes into a game you start to say, where is he?
Key player in Atletico's last visit to Manchester in the last game in the competition, 1-0 win at Manchester United. Wonderful assist for Renan Lodge's winning goal. Still got it, Griezmann, even though I was going to say he's not quite as intense a player as he used to be, but he's always had that languid style of play anyway.
Going back to Atletico, just giving that.
bị thua buồn. Anh bé mình đi cướp từ ngày là vào mùng từ ngày của tiệm mùng là bữa đầu của anh chủ cơ cái đâu của anh chủ nó có đâu cọ đi pin gỡ là gì đó TV punya
history. Visitors unmanaged for Arsenal.
ada apa di aku
Stones.
Look at the Atleti front players. João Felix is almost playing as a second left back. Griezmann is almost in an inside right position, both back in defensive areas.
Doesn't matter, look how high up the field Stones and Laporte are too. Really is attack versus defence at the moment. Stones creeping further forward. There's the danger. Lose it, you've got to hurry. João Cancelo. Mahrez. Gundogan's on the move. Cancelo. Easy for Felipe. There's no
nobody high enough up the field, though, to take it and keep it for Atletico. Stones. Sterling. Cancelo. Got half a yard. And maybe did a little bit too much with it. You can see the idea. He knew he couldn't get the crossing with his left foot. Just tried to play it with the outside of his right into the run of Riyad Mahrez. Just got too much on it. No signs that Pep Guardiola has overthought tonight with his selection or the way his team are playing. He was quick to bat away any such suggestions this week. Wonderfully sarcastic delivery when he said, of course I'll overthink it. I always do that. I'll try and play 12 if I can. An admonishment to those who think that he's been the reason why City lost the final last season and the quarter-final 2 years ago to Lille. It's fair enough of him to point out that his record with Barcelona and Bayern Munich before then wasn't half bad. His record with City hasn't been bad, just haven't won it yet. He's gone with the same shape that we see most weeks for Man City. Maybe a change of personnel every so often. Mahrez passed the challenge of Renan Lodi easily. Just needed a better pass, didn't it, from Riyad Mahrez? Gone inside. Kevin De Bruyne had made the run into the box. Just couldn't get it past that second challenge. Dogbia might have wanted to break with a bit more force there. Changed his mind. I think he had a look up and there was nobody to pass it to. Just trying to win a free kick in the end. Ake. Felix has to go into reverse. Oblak straight out. Manchester City on top, but no saves of note needed to be made by Oblak yet. Nothing whatsoever for Ederson to do. Diego Simeone will be pretty pleased with Atletico thus far. Stones. Stones again from Mahrez pass. Sterling. Salco stuck at it. Corner. Yeah, got out quickly. Change of pace, change of direction from Sterling. Good defending by Salco. In from De Bruyne. Felix gets it clear. Has the angle. Too close to the keeper. Loves to put them in from there usually. Just a fraction too much height on it. Ake and the Pulper at the far post, the two centre-backs. The centre-back and the left-back. Good take from Oblak. Helped on by Griezmann. Helped out. Felix allowed to go so far, then he meets a red and white wall and has to have a think. Played by Felipe. Talk to Edison, who is on the field. Stones. Dobby nicely tricked back to Felipe. Ranildo had to be sure. Here's Renan Lodi. Shame about that touch. Might have been able to build something. Kondogbia. Felipe with the switch over towards Llorente. It's a Manchester City throw.
Well, he's got a big role on that far side, Llorente. He's tucking in to be another midfield player, central midfield player, but as soon as they get possession, he breaks that little bit wider and tries to make runs beyond Nathan Ake.
Sterling. As have come on City around the stadium a moment ago. Rodri. Stopped by Felipe. Was about the right time for somebody to do that. If anybody's got to do it, Rodri has the shot. Mahrez, João Cancelo, beaten to it by Felipe. Jose Jimenez, deputy, is having a good game. De Bruyne has now taken out João Felix and has to watch his step. He's one of the players who's one yellow card away from missing the second leg.
Good play from João Felix. Yeah, he probably makes the most of the challenge, but as soon as he felt the contact went down, but it's a good turn from him. We will be happy with this first 33 minutes. As you mentioned, no real chance for Man City so far.
Well, no real surprises in the game. Atletico are playing exactly as we are well used to seeing them play, and the same goes for Manchester City.
Guardiola has been screaming at these players to switch the play a little bit quicker from one side of the pitch to the other. 2v1 against the wing-backs.
So Atletico thrown. Those sorts of numbers not unusual with one of their games. João Felix. Tinched away from him by Rodri. Kondogbia gives Edison a moment of thought. João Cancelo. Bernardo Silva. Sterling. Stones. Sterling's come in. It's left a great big hole over on the left. It's going to come down the middle, it seems. Stones. Carried by Renan Lodi. It's Bernardo Silva who's gone out to the left for now. Mahrez. João Cancelo. It's the latest in a series of crosses that have been relatively easy for Jan Oblak.
Well, as soon as that ball's played forward by Mahrez, the players on the edge of the box should be racing into the box. Cutback wasn't on. The angle of recovery by Ranildo is always going to block the cutback off. He doesn't seem too happy, but I'm sure he is underneath all that shouting.
Analyse that body language, the two of them. A couple of interesting dinner guests, wouldn't they? The two together.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how they would get on.
Guardiola liked the pass, and he's making it clear to everybody in the stadium and around the world that he did like the idea.
Yeah, I think he wants them to be more forceful with their passing at times. It's okay keeping the ball in front of Atletico Madrid, but you've got to break them down at some point. You've got to play in behind them. You've got to have forward runners. Some combination in and around the box.
Crisp Atletico passing. João Felix. Little bit of room for Vasalco. Look at the room through the back for Llorente. He's offside. Ake doesn't have to chase all the way. Can't have been too much in it.
Well, that's Atletico Madrid at their best. Good combination play down this left-hand side. Then they've got forward runners. If the ball's played, well, it was played first time in the end. Llorente had made his run a fraction too early.
It's quite a way off in the end. And here's De Bruyne. Maybe it's just starting to stretch a bit. This wasn't weighted right for Mahrez. Kondogbia. João Felix taken by Laporte. Rodri now. Again, Sterling's left the post on the left. He's going back out there now. He's going to go right to Mahrez first. He's having a look for Sterling. Rodri. Cancelo. Oh, it's confused Kevin De Bruyne with that movement. Rodri. Sterling. Vasalco out to meet him. First time in, didn't get it right.
He just needed a bit more whip on that, hit it in with more pace, just bend it along that 6-yard box. Was there anybody really attacking the ball if it did go into a good area? Only Gundogan. Bernardo Silva was just making his way into the box.
Most of the noise at the moment from the visiting hordes from Spain, who've seen this film many times before and they very much enjoy it. City fans can't afford to let themselves get frustrated. I think there's been a few sounds from them in the last few minutes where they've realised, oh, this could be a really frustrating night for us. De Bruyne down, no way through the gap. He asks, but he never seemed likely to get.
But what was a good thing about that? He made a forward run. The centre-backs go towards their own goal, and it was a good ball played over the top, but I think the referee on first viewing probably got it right again.
It's given a free kick now for Atletico. No, a throw. It's a throw in.
Here it is again. Just comes off the back of Ronaldo. And he runs into Felipe. No foul there. Good referee, and he's right on top of it as well, isn't he?
Desperation there from Kevin De Bruyne. Referee's letting Felipe know that time wasting won't be tolerated. Taken by All Black. Bounced off the chest of Felipe. De Bruyne. Mahrez. Rodri. A little bit more urgent from City in attack and from Atletico in defence. Or it was, at least for a moment.
I say, really good defending from Atleti. When it went out to Riyad Mahrez, 3 players rushed out, stopped him going forward.
Rodri. João Cancelo. defenders who's been in attack mode all game. The one to break out and intercept when he can. Rodri gives it away to Kondogbia. Given back to City in the shape of Bernardo Silva, who tried to shuffle his way into the box. The red and white wall is not for shifting. Gundogan. Stones. John Stones lets fly, but that's what the ball does.
Never looked convincing as he stepped onto that, John Stones. Gets it out at his feet, can run another couple of yards with it. It's a poor effort in the end from the centre-back. Some of the substitutes.
Grealish and Phil Foden, two of the more inventive players waiting for their turn. Alex Zinchenko will be disappointed to be left out tonight. Thought he might come in and deputise at left back, with Cancelo switching to right in the absence of Kyle Walker.
Nathan Ake's performance at centre back against Burnley got him a start today.
Off Bernardo Silva and out. Input, always valued by Pep Guardiola. Always plenty of it. João Cancelo. Minute of the match. It's intriguing and absorbing, if not quite exhilarating. João Felix. Sterling. Impeded. Free kick City. They've already taken it. It's what Guardiola wants. Non-stop pace to the play. Sterling, De Bruyne ran it too close to Felipe. How good has he been tonight?
Well, he's been in the right position on several occasions. He's read the danger when Kevin De Bruyne has made a couple of runs through that inside right position. Same when Mahrez made a similar run. It's not always been the fans' favourite. Atleti.
No time added on. There weren't many stoppages. There weren't many goal chances. Jan Oblak's made a few catches, but nothing that could be termed a save. Ederson has watched with the rest of us as City have pressed and tried to find the angles, but not been able to find a way through. Koke and the shielders in front. The defenders, Savic, Felipe, Reinildo and Vasalco and Renan Lodi wide, have all done their jobs to the letter for Diego Simeone's side. And the pattern will repeat after the break. Manchester City 0, Atletico Madrid 0.
The criticism of City in the first half, they didn't play with enough tempo.
To try and work something out a little differently. I wouldn't have thought it'd be too long before Phil Foden gets himself ready to take the field, maybe Jack Grealish too. And for Atletico, if they want to try and pinch something, then Correa is busy, Suarez we know can finish, and Mateus Cunha adds a little bit of an unpredictable factor.
Well, he's made a slight change, Pep Guardiola. It looks like Bernardo Silva has come to this left-hand side, and Sterling's going to play through the middle.
The flag stayed down here, and it's Llorente, and now the flag goes up as we thought it would.
He looked to be a long way offside, didn't he? He's a good 3 or 4 yards as Koke played that ball forward. Had the ball been played forward first time, he was in, and that's the runs that Llorente's been trying to make throughout the game.
Gundogan. Ake. Stones and Laporte. Stones in particular spent more time in the opposition half than their own. Ake too. João Cancelo always does. De Bruyne. Gundogan took that nicely. Sterling can't connect at the end. A little deflection means a corner.
Well, that was good from Manchester City. Great touch from Gundogan, because this ball's fired in at him. At this point, he thinks he's just going to pass it into the corner, but slight deflection you mentioned. Good defended in the end.
It was bad for João Cancelo, who was leaving it for his captain, and that allowed Griezmann to get it, and Griezmann to try and run away. He's made a bit of a mess of it in the end. He's made a lot of a mess of it.
Well, Gundogan was chasing back. Did he have a little tug of the arm on Griezmann? Griezmann not quite enough pace to get away on that occasion.
Llorente has taken issue with John Stones for what followed right on the touchline.
Here is to get a bit of a mix-up. Good play from Griezmann. There's the first little tug by Gundogan. Is there a second one there?
There is.
And then he overhits that crossfield pass to Llorente. Frustration for him.
Didn't make anything of either. The referee didn't see either as an infringement.
I would say a fully confident Griezmann would run away from Gundogan. Circumstances, but Gundogan just had enough pace to get back at him.
Good early second half signs as regards the enjoyment and entertainment factor. A few more risks taken by City and by Atletico in breaking when they can. Was held on to a couple of times, actually, there.
Well, to turn away from a couple of challenges to start with. There's where he had his right leg taken away from him by Rodri. There are a couple of the players you mentioned, Jesus and Phil Foden.
Forgetting Gabriel Jesus, actually, who is, or certainly has played a lot of his football for Manchester City as a proper number 9, a striker, and has done well, certainly in the home group games. He scored in every one for Manchester City this season.
A couple of occasions he was played on the right wing, where he says he's at his best. That's where he says he likes to play.
De Bruyne. Deflection on that. Another Manchester City corner.
But at least least he was trying to play that ball in quickly. He got himself turned and was trying to whip it in behind Atleti's back three, back five.
Everybody in red and white back. Following blue shirts wherever they may roam. Mahrez. Felipe waiting for him. Master and commander in the middle, Felipe. This time it was Reinildo who headed out. João Felix, here's the break. Griezmann, Llorente to the right. He was the pass. And he's chipped it tamely into the gloves of Ederson. That's a waste.
What a waste. Not quite sure whether he was looking to score in the far corner or trying to play it into João Felix. In the end, it was a poor effort.
De Bruyne ran it straight into Reinildo. We've got a game now, Stuart.
We certainly have. Man City want to play at a higher tempo. They want to get more players into the box, and that's just leaving them slightly open to the counter-attack here.
Savage. Griezmann, nobody there. But for Atletico Madrid, the hair is running now. The greyhounds are poised.
And Llorente is at the forefront of it. Just playing that a little bit wider in this second half. João Felix has gone to almost a left wing position. Llorente's coming to the right. And Griezmann's going to play up front by himself.
Until Suarez takes over. Gundogan. Stones. Rodri. Ake. That's Bernardo Silva. Straight against the backside of Vasalco. Too fast for Reinildo.
Yeah, Reinildo steps out. Got a touch on the ball with his right boot.
He won the ball, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It's the sole of that right boot that just catches the ball there. Mahrez went over after that. He's a bit lucky to get the free kick there, Riyad Mahrez.
Maybe one here that's on the fortunate side for Manchester City, and it's in a really juicy position for them too. You would think is the favoured one with Kevin De Bruyne. There might be another idea in the offing. It's got to be good to beat Oblak from that range. It's got to be really, really good. Long way out. His line. Mahrez wanders away. It's Kevin De Bruyne. Mahrez taken down again. A little bit closer this time. A little bit more central. Renan Lodi was the perpetrator of the challenge again.
I'm not sure it was that well worked, was it? He did well, Mahrez, not to shoot there and just take another touch. They try to set it up for him. Lodi comes out. He's actually taken his touch away from goal. They read it quite easily, Atletico Madrid, on that occasion. They've given a foul away. Good play from Mahrez to win the free kick.
That one was a foul. And this one, you would think, would favour a Kevin De Bruyne strike. Looking to score for a third game in a row. Can he score in what is his 50th Champions League appearance for Manchester City? Koke line of defence behind the wall. De Bruyne's done that before. 2 separate barriers in front of Oblak. There's De Bruyne, and Oblak, oh, good adjustment. He'd spilled it, but he swung his leg at the right time. João Felix is now foul. Free kick Atletico. Little bit of respite for them. Good bit of goalkeeping for them.
There's 3 Manchester City players that move out the way. João Felix turns his back on it. It's a decent save, but there's the good bit of goalkeeping you were talking about. Has to readjust. And he just gets that right boot to it before Rodri tries to nick it away from him.
Reminder for everybody, I'm sure everybody's well versed in this now, but no away goals anymore in European competition, which just adds to the Atletico mission of shutting out.
Deep in thought, consultation with his assistants. Everything going his way at the moment. Simeone.
Was in on the scene quickly. He was being held by Koke. The referee is just giving a free kick. He's not issued any yellow cards yet this evening. I think he might have to before the end.
There's the challenge you were talking about. Koke trying to wrap his foot round Mahrez, as he did against Gundogan in the box in the first half, when he actually did win the ball.
Sterling caught in 2 minds.
Great free kick here, De Bruyne. He's just onside, I think, Raheem Sterling. I think he's going for goal.
It's fighting Manchester City at this business end of the season
into the box. Who's actually going to get on the end of it? Unless it's whipped in behind the defenders.
I was even thinking with the last one when Oblak spilled it, and it's Rodri who's running in on it, not an Aguero type. Well, Sterling's pretty adept at that too. Hasn't harmed them so far, but something that Pep Guardiola will want to remedy in the summer. João Cancelo away from Griezmann. And Vasalco is forced to put it behind. It was going to go over his head to Bernardo Silva.
Good play, Cancelo. Change of pace. Wraps his foot round the cross, keeps it in play as well. Just to read the eyes of De Bruyne. Puts it into the middle. There's your man of the first half, Felipe, with the header again. Towering presence. João Felix. Caught out in the crowd. He's solid again, though. Nicely moved forward to Griezmann, who's taken out by Bernardo Silva. Free kick Atletico. Just wonder whether Griezmann could have let that ball run across his body and run in behind Man City on that occasion. Taking his touch backwards, allowed Cancelo to get into a good position. Bernardo Silva to make a foul challenge in the end. Fell into it, ultimately. So here come a trio of Atletico changes. Jan Oblak takes over as captain, with Koke leaving the action. Rodrigo de Paul was the first to come on in his place. That's like for like in the middle of it all. And Angel Correa will add a little bit of industry too, coming on for Antoine Griezmann. Marcus Llorente's making way. It's perhaps a little
bit of a surprise given what he brings to Atletico so often. But then Matheus Cunha is an unpredictable sort. Chaos theory might reign now.
Well, I think Cunha will play as the out-and-out centre forward. Correa will come into the position that Llorente was playing. And as you said, a straight swap, the foul for Koke. You can just see Correa playing on the right-hand side of those front three now, or centre forward, and two just behind. João Felix definitely playing on the left, Correa on the right.
Cunha's been out with a knee injury. He's got a couple of goals in his last 5 appearances. Used as a substitute for the most part in his first season at Atletico.
Obviously too early for Suarez.
I think he might get 10, although he could take off now. Maybe João Felix at some point, but you have to take off the man in 4. Here's De Bruyne. Too deep, too strong. Nothing going on.
Hasn't quite been able to influence the game as he would have liked. Yes, he's had a lot of the ball. Hasn't been able to pick out that vital pass. There's somebody that may be able to do it.
Fernandinho and Zinchenko are stretching with Phil Foden. Matheus Cunha. It's gone for a throw off the toe of Laporte.
Yeah, he's got a bit of everything. He's not slow by any means, Cunha. He's good in the air. He's got a bit of technique as well. It's whether he can put it all together in the same moments.
Full Brazil international now. September, won by De Paul. They won't get to it. Imagine how happy he'll be if his team can nick one and take a 1-0 lead back home. Goodness me. It's looking a little bit more likely this half.
I agree with you. The player that I thought may cause a problem was Llorente with his movement.
Sterling, Dan, a look over his shoulder, a request from Mahrez and a shake of the head from the referee, and one from Felipe too.
It's a good run. There is a slight nudge in the back, but let's have another look there. Shoulder to shoulder maybe, but he's nowhere near the ball at the time when he does give it a little shove to Sterling.
Corner may help Manchester City's cause. Seemed to be too much pushing and shoving by regular standards, but the referee's keen to stop it anyway. Ake's trained on the ball. It's Laporte! Couldn't get over it. It's as good a chance as there's been.
There again you see the problems, the man marking. They're not watching the ball, they're not attacking the ball. Really should do better. Laporte had a chance in the first half. Doesn't time his header.
De Paul. Felipe. Salco. Miscontrol from Rodrigo De Paul. And then a slip from Kondogbia. It hasn't hurt Atletico Madrid though. Kondogbia is just nibbled at by Gundogan as he tried to turn him.
I always let the play go on here.
João Felix. Matheus Cunha in a battle with stones in the middle. Ake, he's going to have to go for it again. De Bruyne's hook. That's a good ball. Awkward one to control, but Renan Lodi's managed it. 3 red and white shirts in the box. There was João or rather Rodri for Manchester City.
That noise you were talking about from the Atleti fans is just getting a bit louder here. Atleti are playing with more confidence now going forward.
It's looking like a classic Simeone job in waiting at the moment.
And if you can make 3 substitutions, so can we.
Jesus, Grealish and Foden will be the 1-2-3 for City. Ake. Rodri rather telegraphed that. Lucky it bounced back his way quickly. Say WhatsApped it rather than telegraphed these days. Certainly sent the message to João Felix that it was coming his way.
Just showing your age there.
I know. It's Gundogan. Kondogbia. Won by João Cancelo. Gundogan. Nice swivel of the hips. De Bruyne. Too strong. Sterling down. I think the referee's view is that he wasn't getting to the ball.
Risky challenge though, you're absolutely right. Sterling wasn't going to get to the ball. So that's what made it an even more risky challenge.
Of course it's checked, they all are. Video assistant. Referee tonight is Paolo Valeri of Italy. He'll have had a look at that. Didn't have a look for long. Here's Gundogan. Rodri. Sometimes something like that can fuel a team to something greater. Ake. Bernardo Silva. It's headed over with his first touch. Oh no, it was Riyad Mahrez. I thought it was Jesus coming in, but they haven't taken the field yet. It's Riyad Mahrez with his header, and now the 3 changes can be made.
Here's that pass. Well, he just uses his shoulder just to ease Sterling away from it. Yeah, I think the referee's got that right. Not sure you can give a penalty for that.
I don't think Pep Guardiola was sure either. Sterling was. Sterling's off. Jack Grealish scored on his Champions League debut against Leipzig earlier this season. Gabriel Jesus scored in every single home group game. Riyad Mahrez has got 6 goals in the competition, but won't be getting one tonight. Perhaps Phil Foden can. Grealish fouled as soon as he took the field, and it's a yellow card for Rodrigo de Paul. First of the night.
Well, that's what he does. Jack Grealish, he almost invites the challenge. It's a poor one from de Paul. Late. Become far more aggressive since he's been at Atleti. Udinese.
Stones. Laporte. Atletico fans find their voices again. Mind you, they haven't lost them much all night. They've been as good as their team have been. Foden. De Bruyne in! De Bruyne scores! That's what the game needed. One Phil Foden pass later. Manchester City have the lead.
Well, it's brilliant from Phil Foden. First touch of the game. finds that pocket of space, starts running forward with the ball, and then finds the run of Kevin De Bruyne. And you just know when he gets in those sort of positions, he invariably scores. Here's the turn from Foden. Then he starts running with it. The pass is inch perfect. Felipe for once didn't read the pass. And then Kevin De Bruyne just passes it beyond the goalkeeper, Oblak. What a good goal from City's point of view.
Brilliantly finished. Didn't need to look at his target. Looked to see when Oblak was advancing and how far. The rest he made look so easy. And how quickly does Phil Foden get the pace of a game as intense as this? Straight on, first involvement, and he can do what nobody could before, unlock Atletico.
Yeah, he's playing on that right-hand side. It does look as though Kevin De Bruyne has just changed his position. He's going to be playing almost in the number 10 role. Jesus up front, and Grealish to this left-hand side. Bernardo Silva's going to join Rodri as the holding midfield player.
Foden. There is still a school of thought that he was held back for too long a few years ago by Pep Guardiola, but the stats tell a different story. Still only 21. This is his 159th appearance for the team.
Well, we heard Pep Guardiola talking before the game to a member of the press, and he was talking about Foden and maybe Jesus and Grealish coming on and changing the game if they needed it. Well, they've done that. Well, certainly one player has, Phil Foden.
Stones. Manchester City will not change their pattern of play, nor for that matter will Atletico that much. I think they will, if they'd assessed it at the start, which they will have done, I think in all the conversations, they'd have taken 1-0, just a 1-goal deficit back home. If it becomes 2, it becomes a different tie.
Here's his run, Kevin De Bruyne. Felipe didn't quite get his angle right as he made the run towards the ball. The weight of the pass from Phil Foden was exceptional, and that's what it means to that man there, Pep Guardiola.
It's a very different type of water cooler moment. Foden doesn't always get it right, but there was a half block on it, which means a corner.
Times have we seen that run from Kevin De Bruyne, going from slightly deeper, making the run through, I'll call it an inside right position.
13 goals for the season for the brilliant Belgian. Takes the corner now. Felipe's there. He's I think twice got more in a single season for anybody, not just Manchester City. Got 16 for them a couple of times, and once for Wolfsburg. He's on track to beat that. Ake. Grealish. Pretty well and easily straight away too. De Bruyne. Jesus forced off it by Felipe. Brazil against Brazil. Come on, you're a coach, Stuart. Tell us what that means.
All I can suggest that he wants to play with more width, but the width is now coming from Cancelo down the right-hand side, and it's coming from Grealish down the left-hand side, and that's why Foden is playing that little bit narrower than Mahrez was playing.
Cunha wins a free kick. De Bruyne, it's knee against back of knee more or less. He's just got to be a little watchful. Can ill afford to lose him for 8 nights' time in Madrid. Don't want to take him out of this game either.
Still don't quite understand why Llorente was taken off for Atleti. He looked to be a threat with his forward runs. He's got that energy to come from midfield, to break beyond the front player.
The 2-3 breaks they had came down that right-hand side, and his pace was a factor.
Yeah, he ran offside a couple of times as well, but at least he was trying to make the runs beyond City's back line.
Not by a distance. It's come off Grealish for a throw-in to the reigning Spanish champions. I think we'll be catching Real Madrid this season, but they're just behind Barcelona on goal difference after their current run of La Liga form. Wait until the weekend when they go to Mallorca. Condopia hurt by Rodri's challenge. The referee calls for calm. Rodri's worried.
Well, I think Rodri thought he did nothing wrong here.
He didn't do much wrong.
No, he certainly didn't.
He stood on his foot, but it's accidental.
Yeah, completely accidental. And Condopia already gone to ground. He can't believe it, Rodri, but unless you've got a free kick in a good area here, centre-backs are up.
Trying to get over the top and behind. Edison has stayed at home wisely. Fought up and out. To trot back 3 or 4 yards. Felipe to Reinildo. João Felix. Ake had to make that. Compia down again. This time after an aerial duel with Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with either player's challenge. He's claiming an elbow. I don't think it was. He started to hold his face, then he held his elbow, or should I say his shoulder.
Thirds of the ball, Manchester City's. More than. A whole load more passes, but the only really crucial stat is that one in the top left of your screens. 1-0 City. And Atletico having a go towards the end. Atletico got the angle to tease it in. And Edison will be able to get it easily. Jack Grealish. Rodri. Here's Phil Foden. Quickly up from a stumble. Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne. De Bruyne, oh, it's a feather touch. Ake. De Bruyne. Headed by Savage. Ake. João Felix. De Bruyne is onto another one. Seems to be a little bit more measured menace about City going forward now.
Started to open up for them.
Bernardo Silva. Foden away from Condopia. Super footwork from Foden. Here's Bernardo Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. Savage with the block. Foden. Half cross, half effort into the far corner.
Well, brilliant from that man there, Phil Foden, to start with. Skips past Kondogbia. Goes beyond the next challenge. Now, could Kevin De Bruyne really strike through the back of it? Comes off almost his heel in the end. Not a great finish from him. Easy for Savage to make the clearance. Bernardo Silva also have a chance on his left foot before playing it to Kevin De Bruyne.
Diego Simeone was clearing it with his left foot. De Bruyne, I'm sure, was intending to curl it corner. And he just, as you say, wrong part of the boot, straight down the middle. João Felix is off. Won't be adding to that run of 7 goals in 9 games as it is now this evening. And Thomas Lemar is on, not Luis Suarez. Lemar to play wide. Able to score in Atletico's last away game at Real Betis. His last away game. Correa. Really important 8.5 minutes plus whatever's added on here. Grealish is caught by a Correa challenge.
He's not affected the game so far, Correa. He was the player that's taken up the position that Llorente was playing in. Got a good goal scoring record this season.
It's his best goal season, although he's on a run of 6 games without a goal at the moment. Rodri. John Stones. I wonder if Manchester City might have Ruben Dias back available for the second leg in just over a week and a day. What happened there? Pep Guardiola has taken issue with it. Jack Grealish is down. A yellow card has been shown to Correa.
Well, Correa kicked the ball at Grealish when he was down on the floor. Now Guardiola's got to get Grealish away.
Yeah, he's done well there, the manager. Grealish just has to take himself away now.
Trying to calm it down. It's a foul to start with there by Salco. Grealish goes to ground, and then Correa kicks the ball at him. Not sure it hurt that much.
Grealish's sting was quickly taken away by Guardiola.
Not particularly clever from Correa.
Stones. Oh, a stumble, a slip. A mistake from João Cancelo. Lemar. Nobody available on the right. Ran out of time. Jesus. Did pretty well there. And it looked as though it might be a City throw. It looked like it ought to be. Yellow card out here. It's a show of dissent, isn't it? Jesus couldn't help himself. And, that means that he won't be playing in the second leg. And whilst he might not have started it, it's a tool missing from the bench if needed.
It's a silly yellow card. It was really an important decision by the referee.
Bernardo Silva. Halfway in the half, a throw-in rather, halfway in the half, being argued about so strongly. Okay. Taken away by Savage. Powell then down after a Bernardo Silva challenge. There's João Cancelo, stopping the ball from reaching Lamar. De Bruyne, Foden to his right. De Bruyne going for goal. Foden doesn't mind that his captain, as he is now, did that.
Yeah, they're backing off, You know, he's got a good strike on him. Strikes it well enough, but always rising above the crossbar.
4 to go, plus time to be added on. De Bruyne to do it all a bit too quickly. Rodri. Difference going into the second leg of 1-0 or 2-0 is potentially huge.
Absolutely, this is a massive end to the game here for both sides.
Stones. Rodri to Foden. Foden, lovely ball. Kevin De Bruyne. Stopped by Felipe. Foden's on it again. And he's pinged that one straight against De Bruyne.
What a pass from Phil Foden, outside of the left boot here. But it's that run again from Kevin De Bruyne. He's onside. Could he have gone for goal himself? That was probably the best option. Just hit it with power, try and beat the goalkeeper at the near post.
Seemed to try to cut back a bit. Might have been able to slide it across in a parallel line for Gabriel Jesus to attack. Ifs and buts and maybes. Bit of hesitation from Renan Lodi, or Renildo rather. Okay, Grealish. With the substitutions he's made, Pep Guardiola, they've had more effect than the Atleti subs. Stones. João Cancelo. Draws another foul. He really does take the hits, the Manchester City number 10.
He's committed quite a few fouls tonight for Salco. Earlier on in the game there was 2 or 3 on Sterling. Now it's Jack Grealish.
Stones. Grealish draws another one. Oh, it's gone against him this time for running into the man.
Not sure there's too much he could have done about that. He's running with the ball. Correa may have just caught him. He plays it.
How is that a foul that way?
I'm not sure how the referee sees that one. wants to get himself in the box.
He does not want to take it. The Salico does. Looks as though they're more or less settling for -1 to take home. Got to make sure it is, or better. Rodri's lost the ball. Felipe. Just 2 minutes added on to the end.
If it does stay like this, I think Man City will be very happy.
Correa. Well, even in Madrid, it's hard to see how the game will be all that different.
It won't be, I don't think. But, of course, Atleti will have to come out and play to try and get the equaliser, and that will open up space for the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, who once again has shown his quality. There's the run, the pass from Foden. Felipe just caught off balance, and then the pass into the corner beyond Oblak. One moment of absolute brilliance between two players.
There is another point on the second leg in that statistically Atletico have been better away from the Wanda Metropolitano this season in Europe. They've actually got 6 Champions League games at home without a win currently. In fact, you can make it 7 if you count Chelsea last season. That was a home game in Bucharest. Maybe you can't. Last few seconds. Ake. Grealish. Takes another one, and Vasalco will not get away with that one. It's one of many. Oh, where's your card, referee? Maybe that's the reason he got away with it.
Something else has happened here.
It's an all-Brazilian duel. Ederson and Mateus Cunha are not on best terms. Yellow card for Manchester City's goalkeeper. A fractious end to the night.
Foul was given there.